Hey, JT, it's nice to meet you. So that's the obvious first question is, how did you feel when you saw that? I know everybody was expecting it, but when you see that pass, how good does
Yeah.
that make you feel? And then as a follow-up, could you also kind of go into kind of your decision to come here?
Sure. Yeah. I was actually super pleased to hear the news that they're going to pass the rule. It was something that I was told at Tennessee when I was transferring that the compliance officers told me that it should be passed and that I'd be good to go. So just hearing the news that it's going to get passed and that I'll be good to play this season, super happy and excited to be able to compete with my boys here now. And then just kind of going on my decision to come here, I felt really comfortable with the relationship I built with Coach Terrell over the quick couple weeks I had after our season ended, and got close with him and Coach Langsdorf and Coach Chev as well. And I felt like it was a good opportunity to come in and play right away. And so that kind of was the biggest factor for me. But yeah, I'm just happy that I'm here now and getting to compete and build relationships with all these great coaches and all my new teammates.
Justin Guerrero.
Hey, JT, it's nice to virtually meet you as well.
Nice to meet you.
I'm just wondering, when you think about the transition, Tennessee to Colorado, coming across the country, a different state, just on a very general note, how has that transition gone? Do you feel comfortable in Boulder, like it's a second home away from home, and also just how have you felt just fitting in with this team and getting to know your teammates?
Yeah, still getting used to the snow a little bit, I think. But no, I'm really loving it out here so far. It's a little bit closer to my home in California, so only an hour or two plane flight away, which is really nice. Yeah, I love the school, loving the atmosphere out here. I've been getting to go hang out with the guys outside the facility and build relationships with them, and then just spend a lot of time in here with the coaching staff and trying to catch up on the playbook and everything. Has been a good transition, and I'm loving it so far.
Let's go to Brett Polly.
Hey, JT, with the quarterbacks on this roster, it seems like you guys kind of all feed off each other. Could you touch on if you guys work together, or how the quarterback competition makes you guys better players?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have to compete with every single person out there. And I think when you have a good group of guys with me, Sam, and Drew, Belu, and Jordan and Grant and all those guys that are out there, and we're competing day in and day out, drill work and in the meeting rooms and stuff like that. Obviously, everyone feeds off of each other. And, it's been really good to come out here and have guys like Belu and Sam who have been in the system for a year, be able to kind of take me under their wings in a way and help me out learning the playbook and everything. So big shout out to those two guys, really helped me out. So yeah, they've been great and have good relationships with all those guys. So it's been really good so far.
Great. Ariel Soto.
Hey, JT, welcome to Colorado.
Thank you.
You said that it was Belu and Sam that have really kind of taken you under your wing. Can you talk a little bit about what they've really done to welcome you in and how the quarterback competition has been in this really early time in spring?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, coming in, you're having to learn a whole new playbook. It's like I relate it to like you're learning a new language, because football's football. You have a lot of similar concepts and schemes everywhere. But you have a new verbiage that you have to learn. So those two guys have done a really good job in the meeting rooms. And if I ever have questions about certain things, just help me out on the spot on the field and meeting rooms and stuff like that. So they've been really helpful, and I'm really appreciative to both of them.
And Adam Munster Tiger.
Hi, JT. Thanks for joining us. I think it was 8 games that you got in there during your time at Tennessee. What did you take away from that experience, getting those game reps and kind of bringing that with you here to Boulder?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it was super fun just getting to play out there. You're playing in a good conference, playing with some of the best teams in the country. And, it's just always good experience to have under your belt, I think. So just mostly taking away the experience you got there. Everything slows down after a couple of years, and then you get in the game and get used to it. So I think just the game experience is something you can't really teach. You can't really get in practice. You can get something similar, but it's not the same. So having those few games that I got to play in was really awesome, and it was going to be something that's going to really help me in the future, I think.
Back to Justin Guerrero.
JT, I know currently this spring you guys are a little bit thin on the offensive line, but you look behind you at tailback, you've got a number of capable guys there. Same thing with a really deep wide receivers room. I'm just curious at this point for you, as you look to your left and right and behind you, what is your evaluation of this personnel group, the other 10 guys you're playing with on offense? And does this look like a unit that's capable of putting up a lot of points come this fall?
Yeah, I mean, looking at their tape from last year, obviously they ran the ball very well. So I know the O-line does a good job at up front for the most part, and they've done a great job this spring. You know, we've had some guys that are out with some certain stuff, some COVID issues and all that stuff like that. But up front, everyone's done a great job. So it's also nice to have this great receiver group that we have. I'm getting to throw with a lot of good players. So I've been really pleased with the guys outside on the perimeter doing a good job. And then obviously the running backs have done a great job as well. They're got a good sound backfield. So.
And back to Brian Howell.
JT, a couple questions for you, specifically about today. We've heard and watched a little bit. The defense has gotten the upper hand a little bit, but you guys got in the end zone a couple times today, and you had a nice touchdown pass. Talk about how good that felt as an offense. You finally break through, get in the end zone.
Yeah.
And then if you could also talk about Montana and Lamonius Craig, who has had a great day today and seems to be really developing in that receiver room.
Yeah, so I mean, I think in that first scrimmage, defense kind of had the upper hand, played a little better. We didn't execute as well as we wanted to. I think up front today, you know, our O-line did a great job controlling line scrimmage and passing game and the run game. So I think that's kind of where it all starts with those big boys up front. So they did a great job today, and then you know, we were able to score a couple times, throw a few touchdowns to some guys. And when you're talking about Montana, you know, he's a super hard worker. I actually knew him in high school, so got to play some 7-on-7 with him back in the day. And then to really see him develop from when I got to throw with him back then to where he's at now, and how much of a hard worker he is and how much he cares, really speaks a lot about his character and how much he really wants this. So it's been really good to see him grow, and I think he's going to be a special player here soon.
Can I ask a quick follow-up to that? Like, what's
Sure.
the difference now as compared to
like I said, I got to play a little bit of 7-on-7 very vaguely. But I think just the way he's been able to kind of work on his route running and just work on minor details that he can do in the film room, and just learning off of things that he was able to do last year a little bit with the little playing time he had, and then a lot of practice reps, obviously. I think he's just kind of working his butt off, and it's going to pay off for him.
Speaking of the number 7, we're in LA country. Did you ask for number 7, or is that just what they issued you?
Yeah, so obviously I wore 12 at Tennessee, so that's my number. But Belu's got that, so that's all him, man. But yeah, I know my dad actually mentioned that we're in Denver Broncos country, and he's like, "Hey, Elway wore 7, you should wear 7," and that was one of the numbers they had. So.
And if you can clear, I've been trying to figure this out for the roster. Do you think you have 4 years now to play 4 or 3 to play 3?
I got 3 years left to play 3.